Hello, thank you for clicking on the video. My name's Steve and this is Everyman Fragrances. Today I'm doing some first impressions of some Xerjoff fragrances. I have never smelt these before. They get a lot of hype, especially Naxos, so I'm really looking forward to trying them. Now, I always like to think that these first impressions videos are going to be quite short, quick and snappy, but I always ramble on to try and describe the fragrance that I've just smelt. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to try and make it quick and short. So with that in mind, I must re-emphasize the disclaimer that I always include in my first impressions videos, that remember with the first impressions I am only getting like the top notes and some of the mid. Basically I'm just getting the opening. Fragrances change and develop as they dry down, you should all know that by now, so just bear that in mind, that I'm only getting the opening and maybe some mid notes depending on the fragrance, and it may well change after this video ends. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Not surprisingly, I haven't gone out and spunked a shitload of money on these. I've got some samples that a very lovely subscriber sent me. So that's what I'm going to be smelling. So I don't know about batches or anything like that, if that's your thing. The first sample says Xerjoff Ren, so I assume that's Renaissance. It can't be anything else, can it? Anyway, let's give this a go. I've got clean arms, so I've got 4 samples to try. So we'll kind of go sort of top of the arm, hand on each side. What I didn't think about is they're actually taped up. Right, here we go. So this is a Renaissance. First time I've ever smelt this. I haven't got a clue if it's a freshie, like a summer fragrance, whatever. Okay, that is strong. Wow. Shit, that's fucking hell. 2 sprays was too much. 2 sprays was too much, because I'm now concerned that for the rest of this video, that is all I'm going to be able to smell. Okay, this is just a very sort of clean, fresh, powdery fragrance, very powdery. Now interestingly, to me, this smells quite talky. I wouldn't actually say talky balls, because talky balls in my world is kind of a little bit more fougere-esque, and this isn't like, well, it probably is, but not a traditional fougere anyway. Yeah, very kind of talky, this one. Oh, I'm getting some of the fresher sort of citrusy notes coming through now. Yeah, so okay, it's not as intense as it was. I mean, what I will say, this is not my style of fragrance, not surprisingly, but it does seem to feel to be very smooth and very well blended. I'm amazed how that's sort of dying down so quickly. That was like intense as fuck when I sprayed it, and it's like really dying down quick. Yeah, just a very clean sort of powdery fragrance that's got like some citrus in there. It doesn't really do much for me, but I can appreciate the quality is there. If this is your bag and this is your style of fragrance, I can see why people would love this one. Okay, next up is Ivory Route. Okay, don't know anything about hardly any of these. So right, this is going up here. I was tempted to do another spray there, but I shot myself. I pussied out. Ooh, okay, this one's smelling. Ooh. Now this one is a lot more interesting than the last. The last one, Renaissance, to me is just quite, just very safe, easy kind of work scent. It's kind of clearly, yeah, just it's kind of super clean and safe, a bit sort of very fresh and a bit powdery to me. But this one, oh, now this has got a bit of something to it. It's the thing in these impressions, I spray it in a weird place and then I've got to contort my body or arms or whatever to kind of, to smell it, but oh, that's nice. I like that. That's kind of a bit boozy. Oh, that's got, oh, I like that. That's got some balls. It reminds me of something and I can't think what. It's definitely kind of got like a kind of boozy feel to it. It's a sort of kind of like a sexy yet sophisticated going out type fragrance to me. Like I can imagine, you know, wearing that, you could dress that up quite comfortably, like in a suit, dinner jacket or whatever, or just somewhere quite trendy like a wine bar or whatever. That's very, Oh, I'm sort of, that's the sort of fragrance. This kind of, I don't know if that's like, is that like rum in there or something? This is the sort of fragrance that I find quite addictive. It's the sort of fragrance that I just want to keep smelling. Yeah. It's like, to me, it's a bit boozy, got a little subtle amount of sweetness to it, but it's not too sweet. But yeah, it's just quite masculine, I would say. I wouldn't say that was particularly unisex, but obviously wear what the hell you want. But that one I like. I'd comfortably wear that in the autumn and winter, very happily. Really like that one. Oh, that is good. The next sample is More Than Words. Again, I don't know anything about this. This is a bit darker, so it might be a bit rich. I don't know, let's find out. Oh, that's cool. Okay, it's got a little saying. Ooh. I don't know if I love that or hate it. Oh man, that's hella... Oh, that's really weird. What the fuck? What? Okay, it's settling now, but that's weird. It was like, there was like a really nice, sweet, smooth element, and then like this really bitter cat piss smell. Like, but the pissy smell's now going. Oh, that was really weird. It was like, oh, I like this. No, I don't. That's fucking awful. That was so weird. I'm tempted to do another spray now to see if that's what it's like. Okay, it's getting a little bit more powdery now. I mean, this fragrance confuses the hell out of me. I mean, More Than Words, I lost my words trying to describe that. Jesus. Oh, see, now it's getting like really smooth. Wow. The opening though, man, you've got to power through that. Jesus, it's got this really weird, bitter, nasty skank to the opening. I don't know if it's just the sample. It's been in my drawer for quite a while, but now it's smelling really quite nice. It's lost that weird, bitter, skanky thing. It's getting very smooth, a little bit powdery. Quite masculine this, I don't think this is unisex. There's something sort of smooth in there. I don't know if it's like cashmere or leather or something like that. There's something that's, could be like amberwood. There's something that's kind of giving this sort of smooth vibe. And those are the sort of accords I always associate that kind of give it just a smooth softness that's very easy to wear. Wow, I mean, that has changed so much. Like now, I like it, that's really good. But fuck me, that opening was bad. Well, it wasn't, it was bad mixed with good. I'm struggling to pick out any other notes. It just feels like this really rather smooth, like there's probably some woods in there. Like I say, it might be amberwood, but it's almost like a leather cashmere thing going on. There's a touch powdery. There could be something like rose or something in there that's just making it a little bit more powdery. I don't know, but very nice now. Very nice, very smooth. Like it. Kind of signature scent worthy. Well, not like all year round, but like sort of autumn, or sort of just dressing nice to work, kind of chinos or suit or whatever, that sort of vibe. You could just wear this kind of with all that quite comfortably. Really nice fragrance. It's been a while since a fragrance like that has changed. Like Red Tobacco from Mancera has got a fucking really horrible opening, which again dries down to something really nice. And this, I've never known a fragrance to change like that, to be honest. And finally, we have the very much hyped Naxos. I wonder if I have ever smelled this before in a store or something. I don't remember, but let's give this a go. I don't know where I sprayed. Of course, it's quite a sheen where I sprayed that last one, to be fair. Right, let's give this one a go. Now, I do know that this is like a tobacco scent. I just know that because I know Chris from Fragmental is one of his favourite fragrances, and I'm quite sure I've seen him, he's either mentioned it, spoke about the fragrance, or I've watched a video with him talking about this fragrance. So just from the hype, I know a little bit about this. I think it's, I believe it's tobacco and honey in this one. So, okay, that's not as tobacco-y as I was expecting. There's like a lighter sort of fresher minty kind of vibe in the opening that's borderline medicinal. Yeah, there's like a, okay, it's not quite what I was expecting. It's weird. It's kind of got this, it's kind of fresh in the opening to me. I mean, I'm not like citrusy summer fragrance fresh, but kind of just a bit fresher than I was expecting. That's like almost sort of like, I don't know, like minty or herbally or something, which then also sort of almost feels a little bit medicinal, but I suspect it will settle down and it will lose that medicinal vibe. Yeah, that, you know what it is, like aniseedy, that's what it might be as well. That's not what I was expecting. I can't help but be slightly disappointed by this one, just purely based on the hype. Like perhaps if I hadn't seen a lot of hype, I would be bigging this up a little bit more, but I mean, don't get me wrong, it smells good. It smells really good. I'm definitely not saying it doesn't smell good. I do like the smell. You know, I'd happily wear it. I'm not saying it's a bad smell before anybody starts, you know, firing shots in the comment section. But it's just not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be, I don't know, I guess like tobacco and honey. My instant being a basic bitch and on the cheapy side, I was thinking like Rich, Warm, Addictive from Zara. So I was expecting it to be a little bit more kind of heavier than that. But this is kind of like, the honey now, that aniseedy accord that I mentioned is now, that's the honey. It's slowly starting to settle and go a little bit kind of sweeter and into like a honey type. Yeah, so that'll probably be what that is. But yeah, slightly disappointed with this one. I'm not gonna lie, but as I say, it is good. Don't have a go at me. It is good, I do like it. But that one confuses the absolute fuck out of me. Right, I'm gonna go and smell each of these and try and figure out and remember which one's which, and then I'm gonna come back and maybe decide which is my favourite. Okay, I'm back. It's been a few minutes just while I try and sort these samples out and figure out which one's which, so I'm holding them very specifically so I know which one I'm talking about and where they are on my arm when I smell them. The samples haven't changed a load, but they have changed a little bit as I was smelling them, trying to decide which is my favourite. Renaissance is definitely not as powdery as it was. It's still very fresh though, very fresh and citrusy and slightly kind of green. Very pleasant. I don't love it, but I'd happily wear that. I don't think I'd pick it over certain other fragrances, but yeah, very nice fragrance. Naxos, I think the penny's dropped on Naxos. Why I'm a bit split and I've got a kind of dichotomy, why it's sort of confusing me slightly. There's cinnamon in it, isn't there? It's twigged. The penny has fallen, and that is why I'm a little bit confused, because I've got a funny relationship with cinnamon. It's coming through. I don't know if that's what I was picking up earlier, those sort of sweeter, what I thought was maybe honey or whatever, I don't know, but obviously I know honey is in it. But yeah, I've got a funny relationship with cinnamon. I've spoken about this many times before. I really like the smell of cinnamon, but I don't necessarily want to smell of it. I've said this about other kind of cinnamon prominent fragrances like Angel Share, Ojon or Wajon from Parfum de Marly. I like both of those, but with them, I'd just be happily just to wear like a little spray on the back of my hand just so I can keep smelling it throughout the day. Because I like to smell it, I really enjoy the smell, but I don't want to smell of it. And that, I think, is why I'm confused with Naxos. Because I like it, I'm enjoying it, but something's holding me back, so I'm not sort of really like loving it. And I think it's because I don't want to smell of it, and that's why I'm a little bit confused. But as I say, very pleasant smell. More Than Words has lost that skank, but yeah, there's definitely rose in there. That's come through a lot more prominently now. I'm not a big rose fan, I don't mind it, but I'm not a huge fan. And that's very kind of prominent there. So it's now sort of more unisex now, I would say. I wouldn't, still my least favorite of all of them, I would say, More Than Words. But my favorite, quite comfortably, is Ivory Route. Really enjoying that one. I'm just really liking that kind of sweet, spicy fruit thing. I'd happily wear this in the colder weather. It's just really nice. It's like a little bit fruity, a bit sort of sweet and spicy, and it's just, you know, I mean, if you know me, you know this channel, you probably could have picked that and guessed that, because I do typically like kind of sort of sweeter, fruity or spicier kind of fragrances. So yeah, that's probably a good safe guess if you know me quite well. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, what is your favourite from the House of Xerjoff, and what would be your favourite out of these four? I'm sure you're going to tell me that I'm wrong, because that happens a lot, and that's what YouTube is all about, isn't it? Just searching for a video that you can disagree with. But do comment, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, do really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying these daily uploads this week, and I will see you for a video tomorrow. Take care, much love.